This is Channel 2 News at noon.
Good afternoon, everyone. Police in Brooklyn made a raid at an industrial park early today.
And what they found was an industry that is apparently thriving in New York City's underground, the business of stealing cars and making illegal guns. Channel 2 News is live right now in Sunset Park, where Chris Borgen is on the story. Chris?
You know, Carol, Sunset Park, one thing, that's the area, but it's the Sunset Industrial Park, a large enclave of warehouses, supply shops, and garages. Well, this morning in the early morning hours, the police went to this garage, opened those doors, and guess what they found? One giant chop shop. Not just any old chop shop, but a chop shop with a capital C. Only the best cars, stolen on demand, chopped for parts to order. The police found 24 such cream-of-the-crop cars in various stages of being dismantled. 3 Porsches 911, 3 Infinitis, BMWs, Chevy Typhoon recreation vehicles. Surprise, surprise, only the best.
The high-price, high-sticker type of vehicles are the cars that they would prefer to steal.
Hey, how about the dusty black Chevy Typhoon sitting in the back there? A check of the inspection sticker shows Massachusetts registration, and there is a license plate found in another location belonging to one John F. Kennedy, Jr. Now, while the police thought this might have been JFK's Typhoon, stolen a couple of months ago in Lower Manhattan, a check of the VIN number said no, so the police are still looking for that car at least. But apparently not content with the cars alone, the group had a sideline, making fully automatic machine guns and machine pistols, complete with customized silencers and boxes of ammo.
They had enough equipment there to put together quite a few machine pistols, maybe close to 15 or 20.
The irony of it all, that these machine pistols should be made in this shop just one day after the Brady bill was passed, but the fact of the matter is those are illegal guns being manufactured in an illegal fashion to be sold on the illegal market. The Brady bill just does not impact here at all. As for the chop shop, well, it's closed for business. The 3 persons who are in the shop at the time arrested, charged with receiving, chopping, etc., 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 and the investigation goes on. Live in Sunset Park, Brooklyn, Channel 2 News, I'm Chris Borgen. Back to you in studio.
Okay, Chris, thank you. Well, police in Brooklyn are also trying to learn why a 54-year-old man shot 2 police officers last night and then killed himself. The 2 cops were responding to a call about a fight in an apartment when a gunman inside opened fire. One officer was shot in the neck, the other in the shoulder and hand, but both are in good condition today. The shooter, a man named George Curse, shot and killed himself.
New York City residents could soon know which man will head up the NYPD. And the big question today, will Mayor-elect Rudy Giuliani name former New York Transit Chief William Bratton as police commissioner, the job he's currently holding in Boston? Channel 2 News is live at Giuliani headquarters in Manhattan, where John Slattery is covering the story. What's the latest, John?
Thank you, Michelle. Do we have an announcement as to who the next police commissioner will be? And will it be the police commissioner of Boston who once worked here in New York City? Well, those are hot questions which Mayor-elect Giuliani refuses to answer.
We're considering it. I'll go over it today with the committee, and we'll make a decision as soon as we're ready to make a decision.
Mayor-elect Rudy Giuliani, despite news reports that a decision has been made, insisted he has not yet decided on Boston Police Chief William Bratton or anyone else.
There is no front runner or second runner or third runner. I have not yet made a decision.
The decision that's speculated would mean that current Police Commissioner Raymond Kelly, also a contender, but tainted somewhat during the Mullen Commission corruption hearings, would be out, and that 45-year-old Bratton, who headed New York's transit police until 1992, would take the job. The only announcement the mayor-elect would make is that school board member Ninfa Segarra will become a deputy mayor of Education and Community Affairs. Giuliani wanted to play down any speculation and rumors about a new police commissioner, regardless of where the rumors come from.
The mayor of Boston says it's a done deal. Is he wrong?
I have not made a decision. It is not a done deal. I have not made a decision.
Are you going to make it mayor?
Well, Giuliani says that the selection process is still underway. In fact, he says there is one more candidate yet to be interviewed, an interview that is to be conducted today. He says the decision will be made after that. The decision will be made in the near future. He won't say how far that future goes into the future. This is John Slattery reporting live from Midtown. That's it. Carol?
Okay, John, thank you. A father of 7 is the 41st New York City cab driver to be shot and killed on the job this year. 44-year-old Pedro Vizcano died after being shot several times in his livery cab last night. Police do not know where or when he picked up his killers, but he was found in his car at 163rd Street and Park Avenue in the Bronx. Vizcano had just started driving for the Fast Express car service.
This year, they even have his friend.
Eventually, my business went down, and he got to go in the field and look for another job. He's been a taxi driver for about 2 weeks now.
We heard 6 shots, and we didn't think anything because around here, you hear that like every day.
Witnesses said they saw someone throw what looked like a gun over a fence, and so police searched that area. They're still looking, though, for 3 suspects in this murder.
A different kind of killer is being commemorated around the world today. This is World AIDS Day, and both here and abroad, it's marked with calls for better education and prevention to stop the spread of the disease. In Manhattan this morning, AIDS activists distributed HIV prevention pamphlets outside LaGuardia High School. In Paris, activists decorated the column in the center of the Place de la Concorde as a giant pink condom. And in London, rock star Elton John officially opened a new medical center for treating AIDS and other sexually transmitted diseases. Within the past half hour, an AIDS awareness stamp was dedicated by the Postmaster General. But critics say they don't need a stamp, they need dollars. And we'll have that story later in our broadcast as we talk with an executive from the Gay Men's Health Crisis about the fight for AIDS funding.
In other news, a Long Island man is under arrest this noon for posing as a physician and allegedly taking advantage of elderly people who let him into their homes. Channel 2 News is live right now in Hewlett, Long Island, where Reggie Harris is on this story. Reggie?
Carol, it's no surprise to Nassau County Police that a young man has been sexually assaulting elderly women here on Long Island. Police knew of at least 2 cases earlier this year. They even had a composite sketch of the man who would get his way into homes by claiming to be a doctor. Well, today, police say the man's name is Oscar Berrios.
Gain the people's confidence, go to their house, and introduce himself as a doctor. He would then perform physical examinations on them. He would ask the people to undress. He would blindfold them. He would then sexually abuse them and attempt to rape them.
Nassau County Police say that 24-year-old Oscar Berrios preyed on elderly women who lived alone. Police say Berrios would search the phone book for older single women, call them pretending to be a doctor, usually from a social services agency, and convince the women they had to have a physical examination. Once in their homes, police say Berrios would blindfold his victims, then sexually assault them.
He would insert things into people, and he would, their private parts, sexual organs, and fondle their breasts.
Berrios was arrested last night after he made the mistake of calling a woman he allegedly assaulted 2 years ago. She called her son-in-law, who held Berrios until police arrived. This morning, Oscar Berrios was arraigned on charges of sexual abuse and attempted rape. Now, police know of only 3 cases so far, women ranging in age from 76 years old to 82. They're asking for public help. If you know of anyone assaulted in this manner, please call Nassau County Police at 516-573-6453. I'm Reggie Harris on Long Island. Now back to Michele and Carol.
All right, thanks, Reg. There's been another fatal Amtrak crash today. We'll have that story coming up. We will also update you as investigators probe yesterday's collision between an Amtrak train and a truck in Florida.
And also, we'll show you Michael Jackson's chauffeur on the day that he gave sworn testimony in the case of alleged sexual abuse.
Checo pasta. If you search carefully, love is everywhere.
Every day, folks from across the country come to Miracle Ear with questions about hearing loss and hearing aids. Now you can get straight answers to some of the most common questions in this free booklet, Straight Talk About Hearing Loss. And that's exactly what you'll get. Call now and discover for yourself the answers to questions like these.
What is nerve deafness? How do I know if I have it?
Is there anything I can do to hear better on the phone?
How can I find out if a hearing instrument can help me?
How can I help my husband realize that he may have a hearing loss?
Get the answers to these questions and many more by calling for your free booklet, Straight Talk About Hearing Loss. Both the call and the information are free. By calling this number now, Miracle Ear will also send you a list of hearing centers near you, where hearing tests are always free. Call now.
Behold, a legendary holiday feast for four. A plump, juicy Colonel's rotisserie gold chicken and 10 tantalizing side dishes to choose from, like garden rice with tender vegetables and macaroni with cheddar cheese. Get your 2 favorite large side dishes, 4 cornbread muffins or biscuits, and a whole Colonel's rotisserie gold chicken, just $10.99. A special holiday offer only at KFC.
KFC.
KFC. Happy holidays from KFC.
Why come to Treasure Island for your trees, lights, and decorations? For one thing, we guarantee value. Item for item, we will not be undersold. And compare our trees to any others. Well-made, gorgeous, and guaranteed to last for years. Everything here is better. Longer-lasting lights, fine trim, and decorations. Quite possibly the largest Christmas selection in America, and always at the best prices. When it comes to Christmas, there's only Treasure Island. It's a most unusual store.
2 people are dead this noon in another Amtrak train crash. Details are still sketchy, but we are told that the train, bound from New York to New Orleans, struck a car at a railroad crossing in Greer, South Carolina. 2 people in the vehicle were killed. No one on the train was reported injured. This accident follows yesterday's Amtrak crash near Orlando, Florida. 111 people were on board Amtrak's Silver Meteor when it slammed into a tractor-trailer truck that had stalled at a crossing. Officials say 72 people were hurt. The train was heading from Tampa to New York.
Well, Michael Jackson's chauffeur is telling what he knows about charges that the pop star sexually abused a little boy. Correspondent Harvey Levin has that story.
Oh, you can't talk to him for a moment. Leave him alone, please.
Round 1. Gary Hearn, Michael Jackson's personal chauffeur, is the lead-off witness to tell all under oath. And the lawyer for Jackson's 13-year-old accuser is satisfied.
Is the chauffeur substantiating what your client is telling you?
Yes.
In terms of a relationship?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Chauffeur substantiates that Michael Jackson slept at my child's house for, as he says, at least 30 days.
Every day?
Every day for at least 30 days.
Hearn reportedly met Jackson during a transcendental meditation class 2 years ago and became his chauffeur. A number of witnesses are scheduled to follow Hearn over the next few weeks. In the event these witnesses become unavailable for the trial next March, the jury can consider what they're saying now. This man showed up to videotape the chauffeur's testimony.
Why are you videotaping this?
Strategically. And I don't want Mr. Weitzman nor Mr. Jackson to know.
Jackson is being sued for allegedly molesting the 13-year-old over a 3-month period earlier this year. The boy's lawyer says the witnesses he's calling now will establish a pattern of sexual abuse on the part of the superstar.
There are people who will be able to corroborate that Mr. Jackson is having relationships with little boys.
Relationships meaning?
Sexual relationships.
Harvey Levin for CBS News.
And coming up after a short break, the children who were at their nursery school when it was held up by armed gunmen.
And then the AIDS awareness stamp. Is it the right kind of attention given to this epidemic? We'll hear from one man who's devoting his life to the cause.
With 2 kids, it was hard to cover all the bills, even with me working. So we'd pay what we had to and then keep the phone off the hook. When my husband's business went under, we had no other choice. I knew that we needed an experienced bankruptcy lawyer because we just couldn't afford to make any mistakes. So I called Jacoby & Myers.
For a free bankruptcy consultation, call 1-800-97-LEGAL. Jacoby & Myers.
Hi, I'm Jim Palmer.
There's still time to refinance your home at the Money Store, even if you have less than perfect credit. Over the last year, thousands of homeowners across America have refinanced their mortgages with the Money Store. You can apply by phone anytime at the Money Store, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and there's never an application fee. So to refinance your mortgage, even if your credit is less than perfect, call the Money Store at 1-800-LOAN-YES. The Money Store, where America goes for money.
If you've had problems with excess gas when you take a bulk fiber therapy, you should try Citracel. All other powdered bulk fibers contain psyllium, a fiber source that ferments in your system and may initially cause gas and bloating. Citracel is different. Citracel contains a unique fiber that's every bit as effective, but doesn't ferment, doesn't produce excess gas. Citracel, effective relief without the gas.
Does your international calling plan make you play favorites?
So the special savings are only on 2 numbers. Let me think. Giorgio, Mario, Mario and Alex, Vladimir, Michele.
AT&T is offering you more than 35% savings.
Natasha, she broke my heart, no.
To all the people you want to call all over the world.
Claudia, Giovanni, Mama.
You don't have to sacrifice friends or family for big savings. Just call AT&T today.
Mama and Giorgio. Mama and Mario.
It is a shockingly callous crime, even for the mean streets of Crown Heights, Brooklyn. 2 gunmen robbed a church and stole money intended for children. The men held up the Mount Moriah Church yesterday, even as a nursery school class played in a nearby room, unaware of the robbery. The gunmen took $4,000 in cash, money raised in a fundraising effort to buy Christmas gifts for the kids.
Whenever we get to the point where they don't care about the church or the kids or anybody, then we've reached a point of almost no return.
The gunman even fired some threatening shots inside the church. Fortunately, no one was hurt.
Incredible. Consciousness raising needed on so many levels, and today happens to be World AIDS Day, as we mentioned earlier in the broadcast. There was controversy earlier as post office officials dedicated a new 29-cent AIDS awareness stamp, but some AIDS activists say they don't need stamps, they need more funds for research. The head of the National Institutes for Health is taking a cautious approach to calls for action.
Well, this is not going to be a quick fix. This is an extremely complex and very difficult scientific problem, and we naturally feel and want to say, well, we're right there, we're almost there. We may not be, but there's a lot of work ahead.
And to discuss that work ahead and also AIDS Awareness Day, we're joined now by David Hansel, who's General Counsel for the Gay Men's Health Crisis, and Dr. Frank Fields with us, too, to start the discussion off.
Well, David, let's begin with what is the theme today?
Well, Frank, there are several. World AIDS Day is largely about public awareness. We want to make sure people understand what a catastrophe the AIDS epidemic has been and continues to be around the world, as well as in this country and right here in New York City. We also want to commemorate the millions of people around the world who have died of AIDS to date. And finally, the third thing we want to do is to call upon our government and governments around the world to do more to fight this epidemic. The projections are that by the year 2000, as many as 100 million people may be infected with HIV, the virus that causes AIDS.
This is not only gay people.
This is everyone, gay people, men, women, heterosexual, children, tens of millions of children.
Hasn't there been enough publicity? Don't you think, aren't people aware of the nature of this beast, of this disease, of this epidemic?
I don't think people are aware of how serious it is, and I don't think they really understand what they and other people can do to protect themselves from it. We need very specific information about how to have safe sex, use of condoms, not to share needles if people are drug users. Those very specific kinds of information, I think, haven't really gotten out to the people that need them.
I was going to say, David, isn't it amazing that the data shows that teenagers and the like are still having unprotected sex in spite of all the warnings, in spite of all the information?
Absolutely. A lot of people consider themselves immune, invulnerable, that they don't have to worry about these things, that they're immortal. It doesn't affect them.
Well,
and
how do we
unfortunately,
change
it's too late
all this,
when they
David?
find out.
You know, the message has been getting out. It's been repeated. You're saying it. People have said it time and time again. Celebrities have said it. We're being deluged in these messages. What more can we do?
We need the government to do more. The government is not doing everything it should be, either here or around the world.
For example?
We need political support. We need more funding. We need funding for research to find a cure, which is, of course, the ultimate thing we want to do to put an end to this disease altogether. But until we get to that point, we want to make sure everyone is educated with very specific, explicit information about how to stop the transmission of this disease.
Has it made a big difference having a Democrat in the White House?
It has certainly made a difference. President Clinton has been more supportive than his predecessors, but we need a lot more, and we need it not just in Washington. We need it in Albany, we need it right here in New York City. We need Governor Cuomo, we need Mayor-elect Giuliani, all of our elected officials, and people need to tell them that they want an end to this epidemic and they want it now.
Well, we saw this clip of the post office commemorating a stamp for AIDS Day, and yet there were AIDS activists out there deriding this. Why?
Well, we need the symbolism, and the stamp is one way of expressing concern, but we need more than symbolism. We need funding, we need support, we need the things that are really going to make a concrete difference in the long run. Frankly, it'd be wonderful if the Postal Service would take all the proceeds from the AIDS stamp and put it into AIDS research. That's the best thing that they could do.
Okay.
That's the kind of thing we need.
Thank you for joining us here today.
Thank you.
If you want more information, too, you can call the Gay Men's Health Crisis Line,
yes,
and they can tell you how you can help. Thank
Absolutely.
you, David. Okay.
Thank you, David. And still to come this Wednesday afternoon, Frank Field will be back with the forecast.
And then a purple dinosaur who's ready for a Radio City Music Hall debut. Oh, no. He's coming.
Quality time for us is reading wonderful stories together.
For the experience of a lifetime, make time to read with your children.
For years, the threat was just a rumor, but now it's very real, and the killer bees could be on their way. Tonight,
just get away as fast as you can.
Channel 2 News looks at the realities behind the danger.
It could probably chase you 400 or 500 yards.
And talks to the experts to find out if killer bees are a serious threat or an unlikely possibility.
The real threat is in the greater number of bees going after you more aggressively.
The truth about killer bees. Tonight at 11 on Channel 2 News. Watch it.
I'm Roseanne Coletti with a reminder. The Troubleshooter Hotline is open weekdays from 11 a.m. till 1. So if you've got trouble, call our volunteers from the National Council of Jewish Women at 212-582-0220. And don't miss my Troubleshooter reports weekdays at 5 on Channel 2 News.
I started out when I was very small, and they're still helping now that I am tall. I learned the way to get along, about fair play. They helped me learn to face the world today. I'm really glad they made the Children's Aid Society. I'm really glad they made the Children's Aid Society.
If you wear dentures, you know what you've been missing. But at 1-800-DENTIST, we want you to know that there is an alternative. Dental implants. With dental implants, you'll be able to talk, laugh, and eat whatever you want with complete confidence, because dental implants are as strong and solid as natural teeth. To find a dentist in your area qualified to do dental implants, call 1-800-DENTIST today and start enjoying what you've been missing.
She says rape. He says I never touched her. For the first time, the families meet face to face. Next, Geraldo.
Today at 4.
Weather now, we were just wondering, all the record rains we've been having over the last week, have they helped the reservoirs?
They have indeed, a lot, but the reservoir levels jumped by 5%, but we're still in big trouble. As a matter of fact, if you look at these pictures, see that car there? I'm in that car. We're going to have a special report at 5 o'clock. I'm driving at the bottom of the reservoir. We would normally be about, well, we need a submarine to be where we were there, but this is the reservoir, and we're way below normal in the water department. Maybe this coming weekend we might be helped out a little too, but hard to say. 54% humidity, 41 degrees right now in Midtown. The wind is out of the northeast at 6 miles an hour. This nice, dry, cool air will stay with us right through today, so enjoy today and tomorrow. And then a change begins on Friday. More clouds develop as temperatures moderate, so we've got a couple of nice days coming. And for the weekend, yep, remember last weekend? Well, we got some more showers heading this way. And again, I have great hopes maybe some of that rain will fall in the reservoir because we're way below normal and we face a serious problem. And we'll talk about that at 5 today.
Okay. Thank you, Frank. Well, look out in New York. Here he comes. Like it or not, this morning, Barney, the world's most lovable dinosaur, announced his first ever live concert series at Radio City Music Hall. Here he is. Barney will perform live at Radio City from March 5th through the 13th. We hear it's already sold out. What a draw.
Oh, how do I tell my son that?
Don't tell him.
He's so light on his feet.
Yeah.
Now let's go to Geraldo Rivera for a look at what's ahead on today's show at 4 o'clock right here on Channel 2. Geraldo.
Thanks, Michelle. I'm also light on my and purple. Today we have a serious one. 2 teenagers and their families torn apart and at war with each other. The battle cry, your son raped our daughter. The other family's response, your daughter is a liar.
We got to this one spot, they jumped off their bikes and grabbed me.
And now who actually grabbed you?
Both of them. They grabbed me under the arms.
Did they then throw you to the ground?
Yeah.
My son and this other boy, Philip, did not rape her.
That is a lie.
They
That's
did.
a lie.
Yes, he did.
That's a lie.
How do you know it's a lie when I was there? You're not.
Kids
We were with our son. Where were you at?
Your kid is when she's downtown and she's
I
hanging all over
trusted
the
you to
place.
look over my kid when she was in your presence, girl.
Mike, did you rape her?
Crystal.
No. Crystal, did he rape you?
Yes.
This whole ugly mess began apparently with an innocent day of swimming. The truth will surface when that young man goes on trial for rape in January. Carol, Michelle?
All right, thank you. More at 4. And that's it for now on Channel 2 News at noon this Wednesday. We have a number, too, we're going to put up for the Gay Men's Health Crisis Hotline. If you'd like more information, 212-807-6655. We'll leave that up for you.
All right, we'll see you later at 6. Good afternoon.
People are always asking me, what's so special about Century Village?
The $10 million clubhouse, where something's always happening.
I love to sew, and I can do it right here and then model my own creation.
It's the peace and quiet like another world.
I looked at a lot of places. Nothing compares to Century Village.
It's more than the good life.
It's the right life.
Seeing is believing, so give us a ring. That's
Century Village of Pembroke Pines.
Some nights, my husband Ben is out there for hours, in spite of his minor arthritis pain. When he has a flare-up, he takes Advil. For minor arthritis pain, doctors recommend Advil most, and Advil's gentler on his stomach than aspirin. He says Advil lets him get back to doing what he loves. And without the pain, he sleeps better. Says he wakes up feeling ready for another day. Advil, advanced medicine for pain.
You're the only one like you. There isn't another in the whole wide world who can do the things you do. Oh, you are special, special. Everyone is special.